To automatically pull information from the website provided in the contact form, we'll use a tool called Browse AI. Use the link on screen or in the description below to get signed up for free. Go ahead and follow the prompts to get signed up and then meet me on the next page. Once you create an account, you'll get this onboarding survey. Go ahead and fill that out. For the How Did You Hear About Us dropdown, click YouTube. When you get to the question that says, how do you want to extract data? Go ahead and click, I want to do it myself, but have no experience in scraping web data. All right, we're in. The first page you'll land on after sign up is the Build New Robot page. It prompts you to select one of these options, either extracting structured data or monitoring site changes. These are fine if you want to build from the ground up, but I'll show you how to grab a pre-built robot so that you don't have to build from scratch. In the address bar of your browser, navigate to browse.ai/prebuilt-robots. Here you can scroll through and find tons of pre-made web scraping robots. There's tools for WordPress, LinkedIn, Make, and tons of other tools. What we're going to use is a tool that simply extracts HTML from the website. In the Search Pre-Built Robots field, type HTML and select the robot named Extract HTML Code and capture a screenshot from any web page. Then click Setup Now. You'll need a web page URL for testing. So I'll grab the URL from our spreadsheet and paste it in. And of course, we want to make sure that it's formatted properly with the http://. If you don't include that, this won't work. That's why we set up the filters earlier. Scroll down and click Next Step. Then review that everything looks good and click Finish. This will run a test task. You can watch as Browse AI navigates to that URL and pulls information from the web page. I'll fast forward to show you the results. When it's done, you should get a success message. And if you scroll down, you'll see it captured a screenshot of the website, which we can click on to see bigger. Oof, yeah, that website needs some help. No wonder they're reaching out to Joe about web design. You can click the X in the upper right corner to close the screenshot. And to see the HTML, you can click Read More. And there's the full HTML code from the site. Now, unless you know how to work with HTML code, this can look kind of intimidating. But don't worry about it. We're going to use AI to process this information, and AI knows exactly what to do with HTML. Let's go back to Make. Now that we've got our robot set up in Browse AI, let's set up Browse AI inside of Make. We'll need to pick one path of our automation to start with. For me, since I know that the URL in the web form is not formatted correctly, I'll start with the fallback path. Click the plus button, search for Browse AI, and select Run a Task. Click Create Connection to link your account. Give your connection a name if you'd like, then click Save. Just like with the other apps, you'll get an authorization window that pops up. This one doesn't require any additional steps though if you're already logged into Browse AI. Next, we need to pick our robot. Now, if you click in the robot field, it'll pull up our inputs list, which we don't actually want. That's because right now, Make.com is set to map mode. See this toggle on the right side that says map? Toggle it off. Now this blank field turns into a dropdown, which we can click, and then select our robot, Extract HTML Code. Here it pulls in the web page URL, the catherinesmithviolin.com for me, but we actually want to set this dynamically. Instead of just checking this website every time, we want to check the website that comes in on our web form. So let's get rid of that URL. And then in our inputs list, select website or social media link. Then click Save. Now let's test our automation to make sure it runs correctly. If our logic is set right, this fallback path should run. Click the drop-down arrow next to Run Once. Select the most recent successful scenario run, then click Run Once. Here we got an error. This happens sometimes. It's pretty normal to need to debug while you're building automation. If you ever get an error, click the red icon that appears to see the logs. Remember how I said Browse AI wouldn't run unless the URL was formatted correctly? That's what this error is here, invalid URL in parameter origin URL. Let's click Close and fix this. Open Browse AI and click into the web page URL field, and then move your cursor to the left of the website or social media link dynamic input. Then type http://. Now, if the URL that's included in the contact form does not have the HTTP prefix, our automation's logic will check for that and add it before it hits Browse AI. Click Save. And then let's run a test again. Click the drop-down next to Run Once. Again, select the most recent successful run. The last one was not, so let's choose the one before that. Then click Run Once. Now our automation runs correctly. And if we click the 2 checkmarks button to open our operation summary, we can see that Browse AI ran and generated an output bundle. But you'll notice something here. If you click to open captured texts, it's empty. Why is that? Browse AI can take a little while to run its task. What's happening here is that Make successfully starts the task, but it doesn't wait for Browse to finish before continuing with the automation. In order to continue building our automation workflow, we'll actually need to set up another scenario. We can trigger the new scenario to start once Browse AI finishes its task. But in order for the new scenario to know anything about what happened in this one, we need to send it some information. So let's log some additional information in our Google Sheet to help pass the form information along to the next scenario. To the right of Browse AI, click the plus button to add another module, select Google Sheets, then select Update a Row. Because you've already connected your Google account, it's already linked and we don't need to create a new connection. Click the blue button under Spreadsheet ID to select your spreadsheet. Then select your contact form. Pick Sheet 1. And for row number, we'll need to update the row that we just created in Google Sheets. So click into the blank row number field, find the Google Sheets input section, and then select row number. We'll make sure to let it know the table contains headers. And let's find a blank column. The last column that we named earlier was the event ID column, in this case column I. So let's put some new information in column J. Click into whatever your final empty field is, and then from the Browse AI input section, select Task ID. The Browse AI Task ID is a unique identifier that gets assigned to every task. By logging this in our spreadsheet, we can pick up right where we left off in our next automation by looking up this Task ID. Go ahead and click Save, and then return to your spreadsheet and give the final column a name. In my case, that's J, and I'll call it Browse AI Task ID. Let's return to Make and run one more test here. Again, we'll run it with our last successful run data and run once. And if we check out our spreadsheet, you can see that there's a few duplicate entries here from all the testing we've been doing. But now, our last column, Browse AI Task ID, includes the task ID that was generated when we started the Browse AI task. Let's return to Make and save our work. Let's finish setting up our URL formatted correctly path. Click the blank module and set up Browse AI just like we did for the other path. But this time for the web page URL, all you'll need to do is select website or social media link. You don't need to add the HTTP or HTTPS prefix this time because this path only runs if the URL was formatted correctly in the first place. Next, the Google Sheet module should run pretty much the exact same in either path. The only thing that really changes from path to path is what we do with the Browse AI module. So instead of clicking through and manually setting up a new Google Sheets module, let's simply copy this one. Select the module by holding Shift on your keyboard and clicking the module you want to copy. Then hit Command-C on Mac or Control-C on Windows to copy. Click into a blank space, and then hit Command-V on Mac or Control-V on Windows to paste. And just like that, the new Google Sheets module's been added. And if we drag it right next to the Browse AI module, it'll connect automatically. Now there's one small configuration change we need to make. Click the module to open it, scroll down to the field where we're logging the task ID from Browse AI, delete that one, and then select Task ID from the input list on the left. The old one wouldn't have worked because it was referencing the Browse AI module in the first path. We need to reference the Browse AI module in this new path. This scenario is looking pretty good. Before we close out of it, let's click this magic wand icon at the bottom to auto-align everything and make it look nice and pretty. Then we'll click Save, and we're good to go. Now we're all set to start building the next phase of our automation with our new scenario. As we build the next scenario, we'll need to do some testing, and that testing will require activating this scenario. So right-click the Scenarios menu button on the left and click Open in New Tab. Then click on your new tab. Then click the Create Scenario button in the top toolbar. Just like the first time we created a scenario, we have a big purple plus button in the center of the screen, and the apps list opens up. Go ahead and search for Browse AI, and select Watch Task Execution Finished. In the configuration pop-up, click Create a Webhook. Select your robot from the dropdown, and then from the event dropdown, select Task Finished Successfully, and click Save. Make will set up the webhook for you. Go ahead and click Save. All right, now we need to get some test data, and this is why we left the other tab open. Go ahead and click Run Once in the bottom left. Now Browse AI is looking for a completed task, but we need to initiate a task to have a complete one. So go back to your first scenario, and then click the drop-down to run with existing data, and again, select the most recent successful task run. Our scenario ran successfully, so let's return to our new scenario. Now, when you return to this new scenario, you may see a couple of different things. The first thing you may see is that the Run Once button turns red and starts looking for data to come in live. Or, if the task finished, you'll see that now there's unprocessed data in the webhook queue. This means that the webhook received information but hasn't done anything with it. This is perfect. Let's run this scenario using existing webhook data. And there we go. Now we have some data to work with. Under the Operation 1 output, click to open the task details with the plus button. And here we can see the task ID. If we go back to our Google Sheet, we can see that the most recently logged Browse AI task ID is the same ID as what just got pulled in our new scenario. This is great. So now we need to look up this row in our new scenario. Let's return to our new scenario and close out this operation summary, and click the plus button to add a new module. Then select Google Sheets. Now we want to look up information, not add information to the Google Sheet, so we'll select Search Rows for our action. Select your spreadsheet from the list, select the relevant sheet, table contains headers, and then let's set up a filter. Click the first blank dropdown and select the Browse AI task ID. Then leave text operators equal to, click in the blank space below, and select the Browse AI task ID. Click Save. And now let's test our new module. Click the drop-down arrow next to Run Once, select the most recent successful scenario run, and click Run Once. Now if we click to open the operation summary for Google Sheets, and we scroll down to see the output bundle, we can see all the information was pulled in from that row in our Google Sheet. This is the same information that we logged from the contact form. Great, so now we're operating with all the same information that we had before. Let's go ahead and save our progress.